Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to edit your pictures to make it look perfect using actions in Photoshop. Many photographers use actions, or all the photographers use actions in Photoshop. Now, if you go to Windows and select actions, you are going to see some list of actions here. Now, Photoshop has already given you their own actions for free, but you have to get mine in order to get the perfect look, the more better results, because mine is just different. I created this action with myself and I've tested it. It looks amazing. At the ending of this video, I'm going to show you how you can get this 30 Studio Magic Retouching Pack or Magic Actions. You should get it. I'm just going to click on my Sports Healing Brush tool first, and let's just remove some of these details or some of these pimples from my face. But before then, you have to create a new layer while editing your picture, or you have to duplicate the current layer below. So press Ctrl J on your keyboard to create a new layer, or you right click on the background layer and create a duplicate layer, and you click OK, or you rename the layer and click OK. After you're done, let's zoom in our image. So let me show you how to zoom in the image. You hold Ctrl and spacebar on your keyboard, and left click is just going to zoom in. Now to zoom out, you hold spacebar and Alt on your keyboard, and left click is just going to zoom out. You can see it's very easy and simple. To start editing the image, I'm going to click on this our Sports Healing Brush tool. Now we can use the actions to remove all these pimples, but everybody do kind of remove pimples from the face like blemishes and the rest before using their actions. We just want to remove the pimples that are more visible on the face. So after I'm done, let's remove this tree hair also. Now I think I've already removed the pimples that are more visible like the blemishes. So the first action we are going to be using is this frequency separation action. And I'm just going to play it. So click on this area to play it and wait for it to play. But before then, you are going to see this kind of result. You are going to see this command select is now available. So let's just stop it. The reason it's showing me like this is that I set my action to only work if there's one background layer, only one layer. That's when this frequency separation action will work. So if there's many layers, it's just going to make your image to look blur. So let's go back and merge all these layers together. To merge all the layers together, you highlight all these layers, click on the first one, hold Ctrl and Shift, click on the background layer and press Ctrl E to merge everything. You can see the result. I've merged all the layers together. So now I'm just going to go back to frequency separation and let's play it. So now that we have played the action and it has opened, you can see the frequency separation has already been created. Now the next thing you have to do is to select your brush, go to flow. Once you head to flow, reduce the flow to be, let's say, around 23. And once you're done, left click on the skin and just be dragging your mouse to paint or to apply the effect on the skin. And as you can see, we are applying the filter on the skin. You can see the results of the skin. It looks smooth. Let's look at the before and the after. This is the before and this is the after. You can see the result is magical. It makes the image to look perfect. While editing this area, you have to reduce the flow. So I'm just going to reduce it to 13. And let's paint this part also. You can see the results. Let's also brush the center of the nose. And let's brush this area. I'm being more careful at this area because it's going to give me some black stains on the face. Now remember, while you are using this action, let's say while you're using this specific frequency separation action or any other frequency separation action here, even the scale smoothing action, you might notice something on your image. It will give you that black result. Let's say, for example, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's double click on this Gaussian blur and increase the Gaussian blur. Let's increase it to be around 106. You can see this black result on the face. It might give you that kind of result. Now I want to explain to you why it shows you that kind of result. it depends on the image quality. If the image is closer to the camera, let's say it's a portrait or a headshot, you can increase the Gaussian blur, let's say, to be too much and apply it on the image. But if it's a full body picture and the quality is not that high, you have to reduce the Gaussian blur radius. Now, to reduce this Gaussian blur radius, after you are done clicking the action, just go to this Gaussian blur, double click on it to reduce the Gaussian blur radius. And if you reduce it, the effect on the image is just going to reduce. And as you can see, so that black thing that you're seeing on the face is just going to reduce. That's one thing about my actions, and I have to tell you so you will know, and it's very important. If you are getting that kind of result, double click on the Gaussian blur reduce to reduce it, and it depends on the kind of image you are using. A very high quality image needs a higher Gaussian blur reduce. And I also forgot to tell you something. While applying this frequency separation on your image, remember this your foreground and background color. I always say this thing while teaching people. Your foreground color should be white while applying the effect on the image. If the foreground color is white, you will be able to apply those effects on the image. But if the foreground color is black, let's say black, you'll be able to remove the effects from the image. That means if you make mistake, click on these two arrows that are facing each other. Make sure the one above is black, and you'll be able to paint that same area that you made the mistake, and it's just going to clean that mistake. And if it's white, you can apply the filter on the image. Now, this only works for layers with layer marks. If you make mistake also, you can press Ctrl Z on your keyboard. You'll be able to go back. So now let's head to the body. Since we are done with the face, this is the body. Let's apply it on the body. So I'm not going to apply it much on this body because it's making the body smooth. The next action we'll be using for this body is the frequency separation 8-bit. We are going to be using that one because let's say the result is more stronger than this one. This frequency separation looks soft for this image. It looks like normal skin smoothing. It looks very soft for this image. So what I'm just going to do now is that I'm just going to highlight these layers. Remember to highlight, click on the first layer, hold Ctrl and Shift on your keyboard, click on the other layer and press Ctrl E to merge it. Let's look at the before and the after for the face. For the frequency separation, this is the before and this is the after. This is the before and this is the after. So I'm just going to click on this frequency separation for 8-bit, but you don't need only background for this one. It can work on, let's say if there are many layers around this area, you can work on it. So I'm just going to select this frequency separation for 8-bit now, which is the next action we are going to be using. The reason I'm using this one is that the first frequency separation action on the skin was making it to look soft. We don't want that soft look. We want to preserve the details of the skin. So I'm just going to click on this area and let's start applying it, or I'm just going to be painting on the image. You can see the results. So I'm just going to come to this place and also apply it on this area. Let's reduce it from this part. I'm done with the body and the face. This is before for the body and this is the after. You can see that some of the details has reduced, but we are going to fix this using our layer marks. So once I'm done, I'm just going to merge this frequency separation layer with this high frequency details layer. I want to merge it together. This is the before and after applying the frequency separation. Now don't worry, our image looks very smooth. You can reduce the opacity. Let's say you can reduce the opacity to 86 or to 80 depending on the one you like, because too much of everything is not good for your image. And after I reduce the opacity, I'm just going to come to this our layer marks option and I'm just going to click on the layer marks. Now you can see the layer marks is white, meaning the effect is on every part of the image. Remember what I told you, this foreground color is white, meaning the effect is on the image. If it's black, you are removing the effect on the image. You can see the results in this layer marks section. All the effects is in every part of the image. So now if I use my brush change this our foreground color to black, select the flow. We want to remove the effect from some parts of the images. So I'm just going to paint on this area. You can see I'm removing it from this area. So I'm just going to remove it on these edges also. So you can use your dodge and burn to do what I'm just doing now, as in to correct it or to add those highlights and shadows back to your image. Let me just increase the opacity back since I'll be using my dodge and burn. I don't want to merge these layers together. I don't want to merge it. I'll just create a new background layer and merge these ones. This is the before and this is the after. So the next action that I'm going to be showing you, or the next action that we are going to be using, is the dodge and burn. So I'm just going to click on this dodge and burn, this micro dodge and burn, which is the next action. Now, once the dodge and burn has opened, once you just play it, select your brush. Let's select the brush. And I'm just going to zoom in our image. Once I zoom in, I'm just going to select flow. 2 should be the flow. Opacity should be 100. Now select your brush. Remember, flow 2, opacity 100. Now the smoothing, leave it to 0. Because the more the smoothing, the more, let's say the image might be slow or the Photoshop might be slow. I don't know. It used to happen to me in my old Photoshop. So now we want to turn off this our frequency separation layer, because this layer shows the effect of the frequency separation. We want to see the correct highlights and the correct shadows of our image. So I'm just going to turn off this frequency separation layer. Now we have the real highlights and shadows. So now we want to add this filter or the dodge and burn to those highlights and shadows to correct this our frequency separation effect that has destroyed the highlights and shadows. So if I turn off this frequency separation layer, I'm just going to zoom in our image. Remember, you have to dodge the light part and burn the dark part. So if I select dodge, I just want to paint this area. So I'm just going to dodge this light part. You have to see what you are doing so you don't make a mistake. Let's turn on this frequency separation layer. Let's look at the before and the after. It looks better. Let's turn it off. I want to dodge this highlight. After I'm done, I want to dodge this jaw area. So I'm just going to apply the highlights at this area. Apply it at this area also. Once I'm done, I'm going to select my burn. Now the burn is to burn the darker part of the image, to make the darker part of the image to look more dark. So let's select our brush and increase the size. So I'm just going to burn the side of this nose. Look at this area. We are burning it. Make sure you apply it well, but don't apply it too much. You want to make it blend. Remember, you have to blend the edges. Let's look at the before and the after. This is the before and this is the after. You can see that the nose now has a more better shape. So let's turn off the frequency separation again and continue burning the dark part of the image. So I'm just going to burn this area. Once I'm done, let's burn this area also. Now I want to burn this side above her lips area. Let's burn the lips also. And once I'm done, you can burn the eyebrow if you like. You can burn it. The first thing that I'm going to do in this part is that I'll just burn this area like this and increase the brush. Let's burn this part also. Remember, you're not seeing what I'm doing because I turn off this our frequency separation layer. If I turn it on, this is the before and this is the after. You can see the results. So you turn it off and keep applying the burn on the image. You don't apply it too much on your image because we don't want it to spoil our image. So I'm just going to burn this area because I don't like the highlights at that area. So now this is our before and this is the after. If the burn is too much, you can also reduce it if you like. So we are going to burn this dark part because we want it to show. After we are done, let's burn this area. Let's go down and also burn this area. I will increase the size to burn it. Once I'm done, we want to burn the edges of this part. Let's also burn this part. And we are done with the burn. So now let's look at the before and the after of everything. This is the before and this is the after. Now, if it's too much, you can reduce it. You can reduce the opacity. To reduce the opacity, click on the group micro dodge and burn and click on opacity to reduce the opacity. So we are going to leave the opacity to be around 80. This is the before and this is the after. You can see the results of our image. So we are done with this dodge and burn. I want to move to the next action, and I think I've wasted too much time while teaching you about that frequency separation and also the dodge and burn. And because I don't want to waste more time, I want to be talking about some of these actions inside the Data Studio Magic Retouching Pack. I'll only pick out those key actions that you need to know. Then I will just explain other actions without applying it on the image. So let's merge these layers together. And the next action I want to select is the skin texture for 16 bits. Skin texture 16 bits. So let's play it. And once I play it, I'm just going to select my brush, increase the flow to 100, and you will see what's happening on the skin. You will see that the skin texture has started increasing. Now, this skin texture is used to increase the texture of the skin. Let's say, for example, you're smoothing the image and you don't like the results, or the image is very smooth. So photographers use skin texture to add texture in the image or in the picture. But some clients might not like it if it's too much, as in they might complain. That's why you have to reduce the opacity, or you have to reduce the flow once you are done applying it. So I'm just going to apply it now on this area of the skin. Let's scroll up and let me just apply it on this part. You can see what's happening to the skin. The skin texture is increasing. And let's also apply to this area and this part. Remember, once you're applying any filter or any effect in your picture and you are using a layer mask, make sure your foreground color at this area, you can see set foreground color. You make sure this white thing here is white. You'll be able to apply those filter. Just make sure that this white thing here is white, and you'll be able to apply those filter on the image, or you'll be able to apply the filter that you're trying to apply on the image or the effect. So once I'm done, let's just merge this layer. But before we merge it, I have to decrease the opacity of the skin texture. So I'm just going to go to opacity now to decrease it to, let's say, 29. And I think 29 looks better for the skin texture. Or we can increase it to 36, depending on the one you like or the one that won't make your image to look bad. And once you are done, let's merge everything. Now let's look at the before and after for the skin texture, the dodge and burn, and the frequency separation. This is the before and this is the after. Let's zoom in the image. This is the before and this is the after. You can see the result of those three actions has already made our image to look better. So I want to use this skin tone action. I want to show you the results. So once you have this skin tone action, or once you have opened it in Data Studio Magic Retouching Pack, just play it and allow it to load. Once it has loaded, make sure that your foreground color is white. You select your brush, then you apply the skin tone on the image. You can see the results. You can see what's happening to the picture or to the skin. Now you can increase the opacity if you like. Let's say, for example, let's increase the opacity. It's kind of killing the blue from the skin and giving it a more nice tone. So I'm just going to keep applying it here, but I won't apply it on the eyes because we don't want the eyes to look red. And you can see the results. You can see you can use the skin tone to give your image a more better skin tone. I've tried it in light skin pictures and the result is good. The skin tone is good for light skin, and you can also try it on dark skin and you'll see the results will be better. So I'm just going to merge this even skin tone layer and this other skin texture layer together. Let's look at it before, and this is the after. You can see the results of our image. And I think we are done with this skin tone action. So I'm just going to play this light contrast action and you can see the results. It's going to, let's say, add that light contrast to the image, but you have to reduce the opacity also. So I'm just going to leave the opacity to be around 10, and let's merge the layers together, the before and the after. Let's keep scrolling down to check other actions. Okay, you can see smart sharpening actions, you can see sunset, you can see matte effect, you can see creamy, you can see wedding cool, you can see complete dodge and burn. You can see strong contrast. You can see rich tones, reduce red. Let's say, for example, the image look very red. You can use it to reduce the red of the image, or let's say the saturation or the temperature of the image is very warm, like it's not cool, as in it's very warm. You can use this reduce red to kind of reduce the red effect or the reddish part of the image or the skin. We can see rich tones action. Let's click on this rich tones action, and you can also reduce the opacity. Let's reduce the opacity to be around, let's say 16, and merge the layers with these other layers. Now, if you go to this other place, you are going to see dirty eye actions. Under that dirty eye actions, you are going to see advanced eye whitening action also. So you can use that eye whitening action for your image. And now let's make this eye to look beautiful. You can see this eye, it looks amazing, but the eye is very dull. We are going to use the eye beauty effect. Just click on the eye beauty effect, select your brush, then you paint at this area on the eye. You can see the results. Just paint at this area, it will bring out that beautiful eye color, but don't paint at the center. Just paint at this area like this. You can move to the next eye, zoom in your image, move to this eye, increase the size of the brush. Now, once you are done, click on this eye layer, as in this our layer, this eye beauty effects layer, the black one. Click on it, go to eye color pop, just click on it, and once you are done, click on the eye beauty effects layer marks, hold Alt on your keyboard, ALT, hold Alt, then you left click and drag and paste it into the color pop area. Now, once you are done, it's just going to copy that our layer marks to this area. So I'm just going to reduce the opacity of this eye color pop to 5. Then I'll go to the eye beauty effect, and we are going to reduce it to be, let's say 52. I think 52 is better. You can see the eye now. The result is that the eye is now looking more beautiful. Now you're going to love this eye color pop and the eye beauty effect if there's a contact lens in the eye. Let's say the contact lens looks beautiful or the contact lens look amazing. You're just going to love it. So I'm just going to merge all these layers together. You can check my video in future. I'll be talking about camera raw filter and how to color grade and how to add, let's say, contrast, how to add clarity. So you are going to need all those camera raw filter on your image to make the image look more amazing. Now, to open your camera raw filter, you can go to filter, then you can select camera raw filter. Let's just click on it. Let me just show you what camera raw filter is used for. So once we open it, you're going to see temperature. Let's just reduce the temperature. Let's increase the tint to B1. Let's just go to effects. For the clarity, let's increase it to 16. Then I'm just going to go to light, increase the contrast, 8 for the contrast. Now let's go back to clarity and leave it to 8 instead of 16. This is not only the thing you are supposed to do in camera raw filter, but because of time, I just want to rush this camera raw filter. So I'm just going to click on OK now. And once you click on OK, you are going to see the results. This is the before and this is the after. You can see that our image now look amazing and perfect. You can see that our image look more nice and more beautiful. At the beginning of this video, I told you that I'll be showing you how to get these actions. Click the link in the description of this video to get the actions. You're going to visit my website, which is dirtystudio.com. So once you visit my website, you'll be able to get these actions. So now my Firefox or my browser is open. I just want to search for www.dirtystudio.com. Once I search for dirtystudio.com, I'm just going to load it and allow the page to load. And once the page has loaded, you are going to see Dirty Studio website. You can also use this Dirty Studio website to edit your pictures. You can send your pictures to me using this website, or you can contact me on Instagram and I'm going to help you to edit your picture for a very little price. So if you go to shop, let's click on shop. And if you load shop, you are going to see the price in your country's currency. If you are in Nigeria, you are going to see the price in Naira. If you're in United States, you are going to see the price in USD. If you're in Canada, you are going to see the price in Canadian dollar. If you're in Ghana, you're going to see the price in cedis. If you're in Tanzania, you will see the price in shillings. If you're in Kenya, you will see the price in Kenya shillings. If you're in countries that use CFA, like XOF and XAF, you're going to see the price in your country currency. So any country you are, you'll be able to pay in your country currency. So once you pay, you are going to get an email, and in that email, you can be able to download the pack, as in you can be able to download it. Then you just extract the file first with your WinRAR or any other RAR extractor. So once you extract the file, just double click on the action and you will be able to get 4 action sets or 3. Then once you open the action set, you are going to see all Dirty Studio actions that you can use to make your work to look more perfect and more amazing. And if you have gotten these actions before, I want to say thank you for purchasing. And if you have not gotten it, you have to get it before the price increase. And we are done with this tutorial. Thank you for watching. If this video was very helpful to you, subscribe for more videos, turn on notifications so YouTube will notify you when I upload a new video, and leave a like to help the channel out.